I this is all very interesting. I think I'm still stuck on like the actually asking him out. I'm like, God forbid. Like, like what? Me? Moi? No.
Why does that?
I wouldn't even know how to begin.
Okay, give us another practical example. What does that look like? Because I don't think that it needs to be like this like big romantic grand gesture or like a speech. Like I find you so attractive and I've been watching you from afar and I just like clearly I could never. Obviously.
I mean, clearly that's not your, it wasn't
But,
your
like-
problem. You managed to get married, so you're good.
Yeah, well, thank God, honestly. But woo.
Dodged a bullet.
Yeah, like what does that look like?
Like more practical examples of how to.
Yeah, like how could a girl ask a guy out in a way that feels like low key
and still feminine. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
low
feel
key
like it
and
puts you in your
feminine.
masculine.
Yeah, low key and feminine and not like
But also
desperate or like in your face or like she's not actually asking him on a date, like she's asking him if he wants to get married. Like,
but also not too low key where like, because I feel like what could happen is sorry, I'm still laughing about the married part. Is that you could ask them out and you do it so low key that they just think you want to be friends.
mm-hmm.
Which I mean could also go either way. But
Mhm. Okay.
So like low key but direct. Enough.
Can you guys give me good luck? Can you give me an example of what you think desperate looks like when asking a guy out? Can you play that out for me or speak it out for me so I can get context as to what you guys have in mind?
do you know what's interesting actually as you've said that? Because my wheels obviously immediately start turning. I think what I associate more with being desperate is the hanky part. Like the dropping hanky. Sorry, the word hanky is just like really weirding me out all of a sudden.
Call it a napkin. Drop your napkin.
Drop your tissue.
That can go on a shirt.
Only if you're Shayna.
Because here's my thought process. If a woman is constantly like not even like putting herself in proximity to this man, but hovering, that's giving desperate.
Agreed.
If she is like making these very dramatic, like, oh, like, well, maybe if we ever hung out, you can blah, blah, blah. And like always making things like that, it's also kind of giving desperate. But I feel
are
like,
you like describing like pick me kind of thing? Like pick me kind of vibes?
I suppose, you know what's funny though? I have a hard time with the pick me thing because we all kind of have a bit of pick me in us.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like hard for me to fully say like, oh yeah, that's a pick me.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all do it to an extent.
Okay.
Some worse than others. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you
No,
know.
but I understand what you're saying.
I think again, just like the hovering, maybe the like fishing for compliments.
I think that's a big one.
The like kind of hinting at the fact that you should like do something together or take a picture together or like hang out together in some capacity, but never actually doing anything about it. Can kind of give that energy.
It comes to mind is that one person in like the youth group or the young adults group or whatever that at the end of the night is always like, where's my hug?
Ew.
Which
That's gross. Don't be that person.
Well, the funny thing is, I feel like in Christian meme culture, we see that as like the guy all the time, but there's totally where's my hug girls.
Oh, absolutely.
There
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
But so, okay. So
that's why I said don't be that person.
Yes. And so I'll include that. But then I guess I think what makes me feel like to just ask the guy out and be like, hey, like, I would love to get to know you better. Like, do you want to go out? I don't see. Do you see how awkward I am already? I feel as though that would just seem so forward and so like aggressive in my head. And then I can picture my dad in like the back of my mind being like, Shay, what are you doing?
But do you think that being forward and aggressive are the same thing?
They can feel the same. They're probably not.
I would call that direct. I wouldn't call it aggressive.
Yeah. Which
or even forward, because I feel like forward and aggressive has a sense of I'm putting something on you,
yeah.
versus direct is I'm just letting you know what I'm thinking about.
Yeah. I should clarify as well. Because now I've switched into like I'm thinking about myself, and it does feel very like that just feels very non-Shayna like to do something like that. But I don't know if I actually think it's if a girl asked a guy out, I don't necessarily think it's aggressive or
I don't think
anything
so.
like that. I think it depends on your personality. And I think for some girls, oh my gosh, they could pull that off so good. The guy would be like, oh, that was like amazing. But there's some of this of us that just it would not work for.
It would not work for, or it just wouldn't feel as natural.
Maybe even both.
Because I think that you could feel a little bit like out of your element doing that,
Mm-hmm.
but like it would work.
Yeah. I don't know. Sound off in the comments. Let us know what you think. Like, do you think it's aggressive, or do you think it depends on the type of person you are, your personality? Like, I just want to know what other people think about this, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah. But back to EJ, back to your, I want to know for the girl that's like, yeah, right, I'm not me, essentially. The
Could
girls
never
like
be
me.
me.
Yeah, the girls who are like, absolutely not. I'm not seeking to that human. What would you suggest in other forms of Priya?
What?
I was about to say hanky dropping, and I went like in my
Panty dropper?
drop it. And I was
Okay,
like,
you want to talk about being
whoa,
forward?
If you drop your panties,
That
I can't tell you
do
what might happen.
not drop your panties.
Dro-
You are not married, sis. Don't drop them.
hankies? Yes.
Panties,
Panties? No.
hard no.
Keep those
It's
up.
the way I literally, it was on the tip of my tongue to be like, yeah, how would you drop your panties?
Drop your panties.
Yay!
Oh my gosh.
The way panties has become such a like common word for me now because of this. Like the
Yeah.
amount of times I use it, I'm like, this is not normal.
So hilarious.
That's so funny.